but his deep brown eyes revealed experience beyond his years. He observed his opponent with the skill of a man used to such encounters, a man whose past battles usually ended in death. Luckily for the big man, this was not such an encounter. "Stand still, Changa," the big man bellowed. "How do you expect me to give you a hug if you keep flittering like a moth?" The spectators laughed and Changa grinned. "I'm no fool, Yusuf. Those arms were meant to hug Timbos, not men, and certainly not women." Yusuf lunged at Changa. Changa dodged to his left, slapping Yusuf across the forehead with an open right hand. The big man stopped just short of plowing into a crowd of terrified Baharia. "Damn you, Kabwana," Yusuf yelled. "Stand still. From Mogadishu to Mombasa, they call you Mbogo the bull. All I see is a skittish calf." Changa laughed at the insult. He planted his feet, rested his hands on his waist. "Come then. Let's see if your clumsy hands can crush this little calf." The two inched toward each other, their arms extended. Their fingers touched, then intertwined as they began a test of strength as old as time. "Ha!" Yusuf shouted. He immediately pressed down, tightening his great hands around Changa's. A normal man would have crumbled under the massive man's weight. A strong man would have bulked in seconds. Changa stood still, the only indication of exertion, the rippling muscles under his taut skin. Yusuf pressed harder, and Changa remained unmoved. The giant lost his humor. He clenched his teeth and pushed harder, his arms shaking with effort. Changa did not yield. Every man on the dhow fell silent to this amazing test of strength playing out before them. None doubted Changa's strength, but this spectacle went far beyond their imagining. While Yusuf and the others interpreted Changa's silence as an unbelievable show of poise, the opposite was true. Changa concentrated with every pound of his muscle, fighting back Yusuf's onslaught. He was lapping at the brink of his endurance, waiting for the right moment. He looked into his opponent's strained face and determined the time was right. Changa collapsed. A triumphant grin emerged on Yusuf's beard until he realized Changa wasn't falling. He was rolling. He was too committed to pull back. Pain shot from his belly to his back as Changa drove his feet into Yusuf. The big man went airborne. Changa's face replaced by sails, seagulls, and sky. His brief flight ended amidst a crowd of hands, feet, bodies, and groans as he crashed among the unfortunate Bahari on the deck. "Mbogo!" the uninjured spectators cheered. Changa rolled to his feet, then sauntered to Yusuf and the pile of hapless victims beneath him. "You were right," Changa said as he managed to massage his short arms and shoulders. "You are stronger than me."
So, this is when Martin really makes his first connection with the ladder, and it's early one morning, and it's funny. I was talking to your wife, and we were talking about how when you write a book, you don't read it. So you know what it says. I had to look in here to find something. Oh, I'm getting ready to pass the mic. It's called The Connection. Martin decided to get up early one morning while the rest of the town was still sleeping. He walked to the ladder. Standing in front of it, he looked up, his eyes following it as it faded into the clouds. He touched it with one finger in case it was hot. It was normal temperature. He touched it, then held it with both hands, feeling the sides and the rings. It looked like iron. It felt like a soft, durable substance, almost like rubber, just a little more pleasing. It felt as if it enjoyed being touched, as if it were alive. When Martin rubbed it, he thought that he felt warmth. Actually, he felt love. Not like being in love. He felt universal love. He thought this must be what they talk about in church. It was overwhelming. He let go, sitting down, savoring the feeling. The sun hadn't come up yet. He had his eyes closed, dreamingly running his fingers through his head, through his thick, kinky hair relaxing. He wondered if being in love would feel like this. After a while, he opened his eyes, looking at the ladder. He closed his eyes again, rubbing them, making sure he was awake. He looked, He looked at the ladder. It was doing it. He blinked a few times just in case. It was still doing it. Not believing what he was doing. Let me start that over because I tripped. He looked at the ladder. It was still doing it. He blinked a few times just in case, not believing what he was seeing. Nothing changed. It was true. The ladder was glowing. The ladder was dark red with a soft green aura around it. Then there was the other part. It made a sound. A low hum of voices, so melodic, they sounded like instruments. Music surrounded him in a soft caress. He was actually able to feel the vibrations. It felt like the wind. A soft, warm feeling, the kind that would feel good in the heart. He wallowed in the feeling for what seemed like timelessness, swallowing as much as possible, forgetting where he was. So much positive energy went through his body, he thought he already won the Olympics. It was unbelievable. He won first place in all the track events and in gymnastics too. It was a miracle. Everybody was chanting his name. Martin! 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 He was on a natural high. He had won so many melodic medals, someone was holding them for him. Instantly, Martin was an international superstar. Jesse Owens, my idol, move over. Suddenly, everything stopped. The music, the glowing, and the feeling. Martin opened his eyes, dumbfounded. He waited for it to start again. He waited longer. Nothing happened. At least, nothing that he was waiting for.
All right, I'm not going to start at the beginning of silence. I'm actually going to read the back blurb, hopefully give you some